Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. This is episode 3 of the James Bond review, and we are reviewing Goldfinger from 1964. So Sean Connery, who again plays Bond, would have been 34 years old in this film. The opening shot is very dramatic, and he is wearing a suit under his wetsuit, along with perfectly fine hair. Not quite sure how that works, but that's besides the point. He then goes into this sort of Spanish looking bar, or possibly Greek, I'm not quite sure where he is in this shot. And he lights his cigarette at the exact moment the bomb goes off. Once he is back inside his, I'm guessing, hotel room, there is the dancing woman waiting for him. However, this is only a distraction, so a bad person, baddie I guess you could say, can come out and shoot him. Not much is really said about these two characters. They don't even get real credits in the end sequence, so that's something. He decides to electrocute the man in the waters as well. Jumping to probably the most iconic scenes of the film, we get introduced to Felix Leiter for the third time. Yet again played by a different actor. This one was played by, I think his name was Brian something. There's no real name from the end credits. I checked and I honestly couldn't find it, so that's a bit disappointing. But no, he's another Felix Leiter actor nonetheless. And we have Goldfinger, who was played by Gert Frobe, who was a German actor. So Gert Frobe was actually quite a good actor in my opinion. They had to overdub some of his voice clips in this film, but that doesn't really matter. He's still quite a good actor. He actually only died about 20 years after this film as well, although he was a good 55 years old at the time of this film, so that's alright. As James Bond sneaks into Gert Frobe's Goldfinger's room, there is a woman waiting. As expected in the 1960s, there's a lot of sexist things happening in this film. I had to cut out one scene because there's no way you would have allowed it, although this film is only rated to PG. He turns off the voice recording so Goldfinger can no longer cheat. He tells Goldfinger he must stop because he has his apparent woman. He takes advantage of the woman. Like I said, again, sexist runs quite high in these type of films. He decides to leave, get a drink and then leave. However, as you are about to find out, after James Bond is knocked out by Oddjob, as we see his shadowy figure, we find out that she is skin suffocated by gold paint. There's no gold paint stains on the bed, but we'll just go over it. It's quite a good iconic scene. Jumping forward in this movie, he is now playing golf with Goldfinger to try and find out more about his plan, Operation Grand Slam, which is him to, of course, as his name suggests, steal the gold in the United States of America and simply get paid even more money to give it back. It's as simple as that, really. Whilst playing golf, James Bond switches Goldfinger's ball from a number 1 to a number 7 so he can win the game, I suppose, just to kind of intimidate him a bit, as he would do. Oddjob and Goldfinger both realise that James Bond probably was behind this, so they eventually make it clear to him that if he ever does try this again, then something bad will probably happen to him. Goldfinger shows this by getting Oddjob, who is actually played by a Hawaiian actor called Harold Sackart. So yeah, Harold Sackart, that's played by Oddjob, cuts off the statue's head with his hat, iconic hat. And, well, pretty good that will happen to Bond if he ever tries messing with them again. He also crushes a golf ball, which is pretty unrealistic. Nothing too much has to be said about this sim. I thought I'd throw it in there because, you know, it's the Aston Martin DB5. I've got a Lego model of it. It's a great car. Look how shiny and silvery it is. It's just lovely. Yeah, this scene is really vitally important. Moving on, we've got probably the most iconic scene in the film where he is about to get cut in half by a sort of laser cutter, which is actually very good special effects for the 1960s, almost as if it's actually happening. Bond tells them that he is better off alive, and he basically kind of lies his way out of it, saying that MI6 staff, like Moneypenny, played by Louise Maxwell, who's actually a Canadian actor by the way, know about what's going on. So keep him alive, but they do put him to sleep. And we are introduced to this movie's Bond girl, who is played by Shirley Eaton. No, not that. Sorry, her name is Miss Galore, played by Honor Blackman, who is actually lesbian. They make a few references to it in the film that she's lesbian, but not too much, because it wasn't until I think 1967 when it was legal to be homosexual in Britain, which is again terrible. Miss Galore does have a first name, but I can't mention it because there's no way she would allow that. She has her own sort of flying corpse done by other women. And then we get the final showdown. All the American soldiers are basically just kind of gassed. However, unknown to Goldfinger, this gas only works for about 5 or 6 minutes. They simply blast the door open, as you do if you're trying to steal some gold. And we get a very good set done by the director of the film, which is, really good, hats off to him. That's a great set. As they all start waking up, because like I said, I think that was about 5 or 6 minutes, I guess. And a very good fight scene opens up with Oddjob's kind of henchman, I guess you could say, against the US Army. And Goldfinger himself pulls out some pretty cool 44 Magnum gold gun and starts acting like a good guy, because I guess why not? James Bond and Oddjob are now locked in. However, Oddjob is extremely loyal to Goldfinger and decides to just get Bond anyway. It's important to know that Spectre is not actually mentioned at all in this film. Goldfinger is a complete standalone Bond film. James Bond misses the shot, and as Goldfinger goes to get his hat, he gets electrocuted. This is the only time we actually ever get an audible dialogue of Oddjob. The rest of the film, he doesn't actually say anything. He just intimidately walks around being 6'4". They have to quickly defuse the bomb. However, they manage to defuse the bomb with 007 seconds remaining. So James Bond is now sort of seen as a hero for saving all of the United States of America. However, unknown to him, Goldfinger is still alive and is actually on the plane waiting for him. As we get our final fight sequence, he blasts the window open with his revolver, and yeah, that's pretty bad special effects. But anyway, despite being a reasonably large man, he still manages to somehow fit through that window. They manage to actually jump out the plane before it crashes. And then we get to the end of the film with them hiding under the parachute.